The new patch 4.4 is out right now. But Wildrift was a little bit late on releasing the patch notes, but I'm gonna read through them. So I played today, I streamed today, I played in 4.4, I saw a lot of different items, changes, everything. But today we're actually gonna read through it to see what the hell everything is. So, boo! This patch is full of surprises because it's Halloween. It's pretty funny. Fiddlesticks arrives on the Rift. Oh baby, he's gonna arrive tonight. By the way, I'm of course gonna make a guide on him. We're celebrating our 3rd year anniversary. The mage update is here and much more. Welcome to patch 4.4. Okay, we've seen that. Whether you're looking for a fright or a power spike delight, we've got you covered. We're unleashing Fiddlesticks on the Rift, so watch your back. He'll sneak up on you and give you and the champion you're playing a good scare when you least expect it. We're also celebrating our 3rd year, blah blah blah. Thank you for playing with us these past few years. You've made the Rift what it is. We're so excited to celebrate with you all. We've been buzzing about the goodies we'll be giving out this year, so make sure to log in every day so you earn them all. The update to mages is here, as well as a bunch of updates to items and some other systems across the Rift. We've also got a new Wild Pass, yeah, I don't care about that, ranked season, much more, blah blah blah. We still have more in store for other updates coming in 4.4. Check out what else is to come in our latest patch review. I've already made a video about this, very cool. So, new champions, Fiddlesticks. Oh my god, I just can't believe it. Something has awoken in Runeterra, something ancient, something terrible. The ageless horror known as Fiddlesticks stalks the edges of the mortal society, drawn to areas thick with makeshift creature reaps fear itself, shattering the minds of those unlucky enough to survive in its wake. Beware the sounding of the crow or the whispering of the shape that appears almost human. Fiddlesticks has returned. Hell yeah, baby. He's gonna be released 25 October, 001 UTC, which is gonna be tonight at like 2 AM European time. I'm gonna stay up so I can make you guys a guide as fast as possible. So be on the lookout for that. By the way, I am doing a skin giveaway. All you have to do to enter, of course, put down a comment under the video. Also, let me know your thoughts about whatever I'm gonna read right here. I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are on this new patch. Wild Pass, it's gonna be an Echo skin, I don't care. Ranked, yeah, what skin is that? Ash. You know what? This actually looks like a pretty cool skin, not gonna lie. Game modes. Later in patch 4.4, you'll be able to queue up solo or with your favorite duo in a brand new mode. Arena is a 2v2v2v2 mode, where each player will be placed in teams of 2, where they will then duke it out in a series of duels in different arenas each map. Every round 1 will decrease the enemy's total health, and the last team standing will be the winner. There will be different augments that players can select. Augments are pretty fun. If you're familiar with teamfight tactics, augments are essentially like a buff. For example, you can both get the Conqueror rune, or you can both get the Edge of Night shield, or you can both get bonus range. Some stuff like that is augment. So it's actually a very interesting game mode. It's going to be available November 10th at 001 UTC. Interesting. Additionally, we've added some Easter eggs for you that can trigger in some modes. So keep an eye on that and let us know what surprise you encounter. I find this quite interesting. What Easter eggs are they talking about? Okay. Quality of life updates. We've added new rank rewards for guilds, as well as some adjustments to length of guild season, okay? You can now customize the page you share with your friends after each game, okay? We've added a new champion score reward system, okay? This new system will grant you a champion score protection card when your highest champion score record in that season reaches... I don't really know what all this means. You can use this card to recover 50% of the point. Oh, so in the next season you can get it, like you can get your champion score back basically. If you have negative behavior in game, it is. Okay, whatever. I mean, sure. I mean, I don't care at all about these scores. But for people that want to be on the top leaderboards for champions, now it's going to be easier to maintain. You don't have to play as much in the new season. We've just adjusted the champion score growth rules for Legendary Queue in the new season. Okay. Events, I don't care. I don't care. Let's actually talk about stuff that does matter. Gameplay changes. We've noticed that mages have not been performing well. Say so. I wouldn't say so. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say so, but okay. In this patch, we want to focus on showing them love and helping them shine. Our main goal with our adjustments were to give them more survivability and mobility. So we've given a handful of mages extra movement speed, as well as some adjustments to wind up time on casting abilities and mobile casts. These changes should give some mages more opportunities to kite their enemies, especially in the later stages of the game. We also wanted to give mages some more build options, since right now they're lacking items to help them against heavy shielded foes. Right, like against the Karma and stuff. Or in early game skirmishes. A lot of builds are also tied to always having a Rabadon's Death Cap and a Void Staff. Correct. Every game you need both items, pretty much on every champion. One of the items we're going to be adding to the shopkeeper's inventory is a classic. The Soul Stealer. If you're feeling risky, you can pick it up and snowball your advantage if you get some early kills. This item is insane, by the way. I'm sure we're gonna see it later here. Yeah, we're gonna see what it has. I'll explain to you what this item does. If you're feeling risky, you can pick up snowball advantage. Yeah. Mages have also often struggled with pushing and clearing waves because of the smaller map and wild rifts. So we've also adjusted the positions of the bushes on both sides of the mid lane, which should give you more space to duke it out in 1v1s versus your lane opponent. Wait, so they changed where the bushes are? Interesting. I didn't really realize this one. Actually, it did feel a little bit weird, the bushes. So maybe it's because they indeed adjusted the bushes. Movement speed adjustment. So let's see what they actually did. Ahri, ooh, so literally champions are being made faster. Ahri is faster, Annie is faster. All of them getting a 5 movement speed buff. Janna is faster, Kennen is faster. Lilia is quite a lot faster. Like this is a 10 buff. Lulu is a little bit faster. Lux is quite a lot faster. Morgana is a little bit faster. Nami is a little bit faster. Orianna is quite a lot faster. This is huge actually on Orianna, just so you guys know. Seraphine is very fast right now. Sona is a bit faster. Soraka is a bit faster. Swain is a bit faster. Teemo is faster. Vex is faster. Vladimir is faster. And Ziggs is faster. Okay. Okay. Fine, I guess. So I guess they really targeted the ranged mages. The only melee mage they really targeted was the Lilia. I suppose Lilia is ranged as well. Like technically she's ranged. So I guess you could say only ranged mages. Wind up cast adjustments. So what is about this? The wind up before casting some mage champion abilities will now be shortened as they... that's what the Dawn was talking about. He was telling me like if you get more ability haste, Ahri's first ability will be faster. This is what he was talking about. So now if you get ability haste, some abilities are gonna be faster. I knew there was something different because like today on the stream, I was against a Brand and his second ability was just way faster than I ever could, think about. And that's because now it's changed. So Ahri's first ability will be faster. So the more ability haste you get, the faster these abilities are. And runes are gonna help with this too. So Ahri's first ability, Annie's first ability. This is huge, by the way. Brand's second and fourth ability. I'm like, Brand is pretty insane with these. I just want to say the Brand changes are pretty big. Karma is also huge. I played Karma today on stream, and let's just say I did almost 90,000 damage. I'm actually gonna make a video out of that one, probably for tomorrow. I wanna, like I said, I'm not gonna cover any games from stream, but I guess 1 out of 100 games I could cover because those are like special. Kennen first ability, second ability, okay. Lilia's third ability and her ult, okay. I also indeed felt Morgana be a bit smoother. I felt she was smoother. Nami's ultimate, Orianna's ultimate will be faster. Seraphine's first ability, Swain's first ability and third ability. Soraka's first ability, okay. Teemo's first ability and ult, Twisted Fate's first ability, Veigar's first ability and ult, and Ziggs, oh my god. Okay, these are actually pretty huge buffs to the mages. What can I say, guys? Mobile cast adjustments. Wait, what? Even more adjustments? Mobile cast adjustments? What is this then? Wind up cast adjustments. What is this? Is this also gonna be faster? I assume these are also gonna be faster. So Veigar's second ability, like in addition to Veigar's first and fourth ability, his second ability will also be faster. Nami's second ability, Lulu's first ability, Vex's second ability, Morgana's ultimate even, and Lux's second ability too. Okay. Wow. Absolutely massive buffs to mages. Just so you guys know, this is massive. Like they've shown love to supports, they've shown love to junglers, they've shown love to, a little bit of love to Baron laners, but not a lot. They've shown loves to ADCs, and they've shown love to supports, but they had not showed love for mages, and this is the love the mages need. Wow. New items. So I've played with a lot of these new items, so I actually know the items now, so let's explain them to you guys. Crown of the Shattered Queen. 3000 gold, 150 health, 70 ability power, mana, ability haste. Every single magic item will give you 7% magic penetration now, by the way, which is going to result in 35% magic penetration when you have 5 items. So you have like a built-in Void Staff. There is no more Void Staff. They removed it. So this grants you a spell shield like the Banshee's Veil. by the way, they removed Banshee's Veil. This is the item in place for Banshee's Veil. You get a spell shield, like the Banshee's Veil. When the shield is broken, you reduce incoming damage by 70% for 1.5 seconds. This is actually massive. So like when the enemy takes away the shield, you're gonna have a 70% damage reduction for 1.5 seconds. Let me tell you why this is huge. Let's say you are cannon. You ult and flash in. You're ulting them, and then they proc your shield. For 1.5 seconds, you're essentially gonna be unkillable. Absolutely massive. As a Lilia too, let's say you flash in with your first ability. Now you don't have to stasis anymore because you're actually going to have the 70% damage reduction for 1.5 seconds. You can ult and they cannot kill you because you have so much damage reduction. Massive item. It has a 40-second cooldown. And also it provides 20 ability power when you're safeguarded. Wait, so when you have the shield, when it's not removed yet, you're gonna have an additional 20 ability power, it says, I think, or after it procs. I don't know what it is, but if you deal magic damage to enemy champions while using an active ability, it reduces the cooldown by 5 seconds, by the way. That it showed it in the game. So like the 40 seconds can go down massively. Like you can just keep attacking them. You can have this up like 2 or 3 times, even 4 times in one team fight, depending on which champion you're playing. So this is an incredibly strong item. Much stronger than the Banshee's Veil. Punk Chainsword. 2800 gold, 200 maximum health, 40 attack damage, 10 abilities. I just want to say these stats are horrible. Like the stats of this item look quite horrible. Punishment. Dealing physical damage to enemy champions applies 50% grievous wounds. I think this is a bad item. Like, what the hell? What the hell? What the hell? This is such a bad item. I guess they're only bringing this item to have an alternative to the Mortal Reminder, right? Like to have an alternative that doesn't have armor penetration, like if you just want damage. But like, what a horrible item. I think this is horrible. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hextech Alternator. So they removed the Rapid Fire Cannon and the Static Shiv. They put both items in one, and that's the Hextech Alternator. Wait, what? Is that the Hextech? Or is that the Magnetic Blaster? Oh, that's the Magnetic Blaster. Sorry, this is a different one. I'm sorry. This is just a tier 2 item. Yeah, this is just a tier 2 item. It's not important. This item, Magnetic Blaster. It's 2,900 gold, 25% crit, and 35% attack speed. These are probably the worst stats I have ever seen for the amount of gold you get. 2,900 gold, 25% crit and 35% attack speed. You can get these stats for like 1200 gold. So you're spending more than half of the gold for the passive. First of all, it gives you movement speed. Great. Secondly, you get energized attacks. Third of all, energized attacks generate 25% faster. You gain attack range. This is the Rapid Fire Cannon. Look, this is the Rapid Fire Cannon. And this is the Static Shiv. You get both passives in one item. I think it's a good item. Like, I tried it on Jhin. It's actually good because you get both passives in one. And especially the fact that it recharges 25% faster. So this definitely does compensate for these very, very bad stats. Very bad stats. Like, as like your third or fourth item, it's a very good item. The Soul Stealer. This is the early game item they were talking about. This is definitely the shining star of all of the items. So let me explain to you guys how this item works. It's 1,500 gold, 100 health, 30 ability power, 7% magic penetration. The stats are kind of bad. But look at the passive. You gain glory stacks when engaging in taking down enemy champions. Up to a maximum of 30 stacks, okay? Every time you die, you lose 10 stacks. Melee champions gain 3 stacks for a kill and 2 stacks for an assist. So basically, if you get 3 kills, you're gonna have 9 stacks. But if you just die once, you're gonna lose all of them, just so you know. Ranged champions, on the other hand, they gain 4 stacks for a kill and 2 on an assist. Now the important part. You gain 5 ability power per stack of glory. 5. So 5 times 30 is 150 ability power. This item has the potential to give you 180 ability power and 10% movement speed when you reach 10 stacks of glory. Basically, this item is a snowballing item. If you're able to get like above 10 stacks, you're gonna be absurdly powerful for the amount of gold that you get. But if you keep dying and resetting your stacks, it's a useless item. This item is very good in the mid game. You don't want to build it first. I tried building it first because it's too coin flip. Only when you are snowballing the game in the early game, after your first item, you can buy this item, the Soul Stealer, to keep snowballing, keep getting the stacks, and like really exponentially build your power. Because this item is going to give you the most ability power if you're snowballing by a huge margin. So if you can just get above 10 stacks, the 10% movement speed is huge because you can roam around the map like crazy. And then of course you're gonna get all that ability power as well. So this is a snowballing item that you can get on a champion like Ahri, Cannon, Evelyn, Gwen, Lilia. If you're snowballing and you got your first item, buy this as your second item and make sure you do not die. That's the important thing. Ocean's Trident, aka Serpent Fang for AP champions. It costs 2,600 gold, very cheap, 200 HP, 80 ability power, 10 ability, 7% magic penetration. These are very good stats, by the way, for the cost, just so you guys know. So, dealing ability damage to an enemy champion reduces any shield they gain for 3 seconds, just like the Serpent Fang. However, this one is a little bit different actually, because it says reduces any shield. So it also reduces magic shields, while the Serpent Fang does not actually reduce the magic shields, just so you guys know. I'm not sure if they changed it for this update, but Serpent Fang doesn't reduce magic shields, like the Morgana and the Galio shield. But this one should reduce everything. So, area of effect abilities. Apply 5% of bonus ability power plus 25% shield reduction, kept at 45%. So if you have AoE damage, like Oriana's balls, like Ahri's first ability, like anything that's like does damage on AoE, like Morgana's second ability, if it's damage to multiple enemies, it applies 25% shield reduction plus 5% of bonus ability power, capped at 45%. While single target abilities applies 5% plus 40% reduction, capped at 60%. So you're gonna have 15% more shield penetration if you hit a single target ability, like Lux's first ability. Well, no, like Morgana's first ability, like Ahri's second ability, I believe counts as well. Like what would count as well? Twisted Fate's card. Stuff like that, single target. It's a little bit of a fine line. I'm gonna have to figure out what it exactly means, but basically AoE is not gonna reduce it as much as single target. If you've already applied the AoE one and then you do the single target, by the way, it will take the single target one. So like you shouldn't be afraid to apply AoE thinking that you're not gonna be able to get the bonus one anymore. Ring of Revelation, yeah, it's just a small item. We don't care. Item changes. Okay, so they changed a lot of items. Let's see. In previous patches, we've seen that some items are too expensive to build. Even if you're farming well on your first back, you aren't able to pick up a full item, which delays your build and power spike. So our goal with these adjustments is to give you a smoother build path. Additionally, we want to take a look at some of the marksman items. While we're happy with the changes we made to marksman a few patches ago, we wanted to make a few more adjustments to make some of the items more viable, while also combining some of the effects from different items. Amarant Twingard. Okay. So now the last purchase is gonna be 1,000 gold rather than having to spend 1,400 gold with your last purchase. I like that. All of the magic damage items are getting a 7% magic penetration. All of them. BF Sword. Yeah, this is just a different change path. It's not an actual change. Here we have an actual change. The old passive was lifesteal overheals. You guys know how Bloodthirster works, right? Like when you get lifesteal, it overheals you, overcapping, giving you a shield. Now, it gives you 11 up to 25 bonus attack damage, depending on your level. When you're level 1, it's 11. When you're level 15, it's 25. And 15% bonus attack speed if your health is above 50%. So if your health, like if you're very healthy, you're literally gonna be stronger with the Bloodthirster. You wanna make sure you remain healthy. And the beauty is, of course, Bloodthirster gives you a ton of vampirism, so it's quite easy to maintain your HP up and remain above that HP. Very good item on Jhin right now. Cosmic Drive, of course, magic penetration. Crystallines Reflector is getting changed. It's gonna be more expensive. Now it's gonna give you 150 max health rather than 0, a little bit less armor, and no ability haste. They're changing the whole passive actually. So casting champion abilities grant you a mirror fragment. Yeah, it used to get you fragment. What does it do now? New. Gain the mirror shard for 3 seconds each time while casting champion abilities. The duration time of the fragment cannot be stacked. During the fragment's existence, it blocks 8 to 15 physical damage from an enemy champion and deals 10 plus 3% ability power plus 1% bonus health. I have no idea what all this means. I mean, I can dissect it. It would take me like a minute. But essentially, it's the same. But you block a lot less damage. I don't know. Because they're not writing everything. They're literally not writing everything right here. Because like they're not writing everything. 5% physical. Like I don't know. It's very similar still. I remember it was up to 3 stacks here, but now it seems like it's not up to 3 stacks anymore. It cannot be stacked anymore. I think that's a nerf to the item, but whatever, we'll see. We've seen some incidents where the bleeding effect from cauterize a monster from the Death's Dance would interrupt players' recalls. Yeah, so like you take the red buff and then it delays your backport. Now the Death's Dance does not work on minions and monsters. That's actually really nice. So now you can backport immediately instead of having to deal with that, right? Like it's very, very nice that they removed it from the jungle camps. Deadman's Plate, yeah, no changes, no changes, no change. Haunting Guys, they're making it cheaper, but it's actually worse. Hex Drinker. Yeah, Hex Drinker getting nerfed massively, by the way, guys. It's gonna be cheaper. It's gonna give you more attack damage, less magic resist, but it doesn't give you the shield anymore. They're not saying it here, but I saw in game that the Hex Drinker does not give you the shield anymore. Yeah. So Lifeline removed. Yeah. Lifeline is removed. Horizon Focus. Yeah, of course. Penetration. Hole Breaker is more expensive, but more health. But that's a nerf. The cost is not worth the health you're getting. Infinity Orb gets the magic penetration. This doesn't matter. Oh! This is huge. This is huge. Last Whisper is more expensive, but now it gives you 15% armor penetration. Last Whisper is actually useful now. So instead of having to fully finish an item, now you can just get a Last Whisper. 15% armor penetration is quite a lot. I love this change. Very, very good. It may be a subtle change, but I actually really think it has a lot of effect on the game. Because like now, you can build a Last Whisper and not finish Mortal Reminder or Siroda's Grudge until the later stages of the game. This is huge. This is a huge change. Very, very good. This makes Last Whisper a very good individual item. Liandry's. It gives you more health, so they buffed the item and of course the penetration. Lichbane penetration. I mean, of course, all these items get the penetration. Lost Chapter. This is a tier 2 item. Actually nerfed. Gives more ability. Maximum ability power. Wait, what? What is this? Maximum ability power? I have no idea what this is. Maximum ability power. Luden's Echo, yeah, penetration. Everything penetration. This is huge, by the way. This item is going to become one of the most broken items in the game. Maw of Marmortius. They're really bringing this item from one of the most useless items to one of the most broken items. Take a look at the change they did. It's 200 gold more expensive. Gives you 10 more attack damage. This alone is already a good buff. They removed the lifeline. They removed the life grip, so you're not getting bonus damage and stuff like that when you're low HP. Now, look at the new passive, guys. 20% of the damage you deal, whatever damage it is, and I assume it's also true damage because they're literally saying 20% of the damage dealt is converted into a magic shield that will absorb up to 60 to 400 magic damage. This scales with level. Level 1, 60, level 15, 400. The shield decays by 5% per second. That's a very slow decay, by the way. So when you go in, let's say you're playing Lee Sin, you go in, you do a ton of damage, you're gonna stack up that magic shield. And if you take magic damage, you're gonna keep stacking it up as long as you just keep doing damage. Absolutely massive. This is absolutely massive. Like huge item. Very, very, very good against magic damage champions. And now you can build the Maw of Marmortius and the Sterix Gauge, because they removed the lifeline passive. So like now you can stack it together. The Green Book, of course, the magic penetration. They changed the passive. Dealing magic damage to enemy champions inflicts 40% give zones for 3 seconds. 60% of the enemy's health is below 50%. Now it's just always going to be 50. Okay, that's good, I guess. The item is still very weak though. You're much better off going for Oblivion Orb. Mortal Reminder. This item is also one of the most broken items in the game now. They're making it more expensive. Look at this. So from 3,000 to 3,300. 15 less attack damage. You may be thinking, how is this going to be a broken item, right? So first of all, it now has 25% crit. They removed the Lord Dominic's Regard, by the way. Also, there it's not 40-60 anymore. It's also steady 50%. But this right here is insane. You get 25% crit out of it as well. So you are losing some stats, but like this makes it such a good ADC item because now you're gonna have anti-heal, armor penetration, and crit in one item. Insane, like it's insane. Saruda's Grudge of course still exists though. Nashor's Tooth, no real changes. Needlessly large rod, 100 gold more expensive, but 5 more ability power. It's a little bit of a nerf to the item. Noon Quiver, don't even know what the hell that is. Phage. Yeah, these are all tier 2 items. I'm not going to talk about everything. Rabadon's, so this is a huge change, by the way. Rabadon's Death Cap, they're nerfing it really hard. It gives you 10 less ability power. Now, the old Rabadon's Death Cap would always buff your magic damage by 40%, whether you buy it early or late. Now, it buffs it by 20 up to 45 based on your level. So if you buy Rabadon's Death Cap as your first item, you're like not getting anything out of it. You only 20% buff. But in the late game, it's even stronger than before. It's 45 instead of 40. Basically, Rabadon's Death Cap is a late game item now. It's only going to be useful as like 4th or 5th item. It's not going to be useful as a, well, actually 3rd item too. It just depends on your level. Like you have to be above level 10 to truly make it worth it. Recurve Bow is more expensive now. And so it's more expensive and it does 15 on-hit bonus physical damage against targets. It's actually a buff to the Recurve Bow. Riftmaker is the same. It's just the penetration. Runon's Hurricane. Massive change as well. Let's take a look. So it's 100 gold more expensive. Wait! It doesn't give you crit anymore? What the hell? Runon's Hurricane doesn't give you crit anymore, guys. So it's not a crit item anymore. But now it gets a new passive. You gain either 30 attack damage or 60 ability power, adaptive. So if you build it on kill, it's going to give you 60 ability power rather than the 30 attack damage. Also, attacks do 15 bonus physical damage on hit. So on 3 enemies, you're going to do this bonus damage. Quite big. So this is going to make the item way better on Twitch. Way better on Twitch. Also way better on kill. But it's a nerf to crit champions. Like on Jinx, this item will be significantly weaker than before. Like significantly weaker. Which I think is great. Because now you can build this item properly on AP kill. And I mean, people would still build it on Twitch because it was so broken. But now it's actually even stronger on Twitch. They really need to nerf Twitch. Serpent Fang. They're changing Serpent Fang. Dealing damage to an enemy champion reduces any shield. So I think now the Serpent Fang also reduces magic shields, not like before. Melee champions apply 10% of bonus attack damage plus 40% up to 60. Ranged champions 10% plus 25 up to 45%. When you damage an enemy who is unaffected by Shield Reaver, all shields of them are reduced by the same values. Okay, yeah. So it's the same as before, but now you reduce every shield. I guess that's the only difference of it. And of course, melee champions reduce it by a little bit more than ranged champions. But actually, they changed it because now the later you go into the game, the more you reduce it. Early game, it's not going to be as useful, but late game, it's a very strong item. And it's funny because this is a lethality item. So like early game, it's strong because of the damage, but late game, it will be strong because of the because of this passive right here. Sheen is cheaper, which is actually great. Huge change to the Sheen, massive buff. Ik ben over 5 minuten klaar, so. Thornmill. Wait, they changed Thornmill? When hit by an enemy champion, you deal damage. Yeah, that's the old Thornmill, based on health and everything like that. And 40% grievous wounds. And immobilizing enemies used to give 60%. Now, when hit by an enemy champion, you do the same damage. This is the same. Look, it's the same. Oh, and it always inflicts 60% now. That's a buff to the Thornmill, guys. Oh, baby, that's a pretty big buff. Zeal. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Removed items. Let's see which items they removed. Banshee's Veil, Lord Dominic's Regard, Rapid Fire Cannon, Static Shift. Yeah, and the Void Staff. We talked about all of this. They removed all of these items. Rune changes. They actually changed runes as well. Last patch, we launched the new rune system, which added a lot of new runes to grant your champ more ways to deal damage to enemies. I didn't see any of the rune changes, by the way, so I'm kind of curious what the hell changed about the runes. To make it easier to see where your damage may be coming from or the value your runes are giving you in-game, we've added a new feature for rune effect stats. Oh, they mean like in the game, you can now see what your runes are doing, how much they're healing you, how much damage. So like, if you get a Scorch, you can see in the game how much damage your Scorch did to the enemy. So like you can see it did like 1200 total damage. It's very, very useful. So like you can properly see whether or not your runes are good. They also reworked the dragons. So now when you kill 3 dragons, like when you kill all 3 dragons, you're gonna get a bonus dragon soul buff, which grants a new bonus effect. Only if you kill 3 dragons, you're gonna get the bonus. 3 normal dragons. Elder dragon does not count. So, the element of the dragon soul buff is the same as the first dragon. So, if you took the infernal dragon first, and then 2 other dragons, you're gonna get the soul from the infernal one. If you took the mountain dragon first, and then 2 others, you're gonna get the mountain soul. That's how it works. If both teams don't kill all 3 dragons in a game, the dragon soul is not gonna be granted to any team. So if one team gets 1 dragon, the other team 2 dragons, or if one team gets 2 dragons and the other one 0, because they took a long time, no one gets the soul buff. So now let's take a look at what this new soul buff is. Also, something important, dragons do not, the dragon buffs themselves do not stack on top of each other. So getting 2 dragons is a lot weaker than before now, because you're gonna get 2 separate dragons, they're not gonna double the buffs. But 3 dragons, then you get the soul. Infernal soul is, so yeah, the Infernal just gives you 3% attack damage and ability power. They didn't change the dragons, by the way. It's like, it's the same, as you can see. But it's not, like, this is not gonna double anymore. If you get 3 dragons, it's still gonna be 7 ability haste. It's still gonna be this, it's still gonna be this, it's still gonna be this. So the individual buffs are not gonna be that strong. But it's about the soul, guys. If you took the Infernal Dragon first, you will cause an explosion, 250 radius, that's pretty big. It's like Brand's explosion, you know, the champion Brand. And then when dealing damage to enemy champion with attacks, the explosion does adaptive damage, either magic or physical damage depending on your champion. It's 110 plus 20% bonus attack and 10% ability power. It's literally like Brand's passive. You're constantly gonna explode it on the enemies, and it has a 5-second cooldown. I'm gonna assume the whole passive itself has a 5-second cooldown. So perhaps it's not worth to bully them with the support if the support doesn't have a lot of AP. Because like, let's say your Orianna wants to proc this passive as well. She's gonna do like 10 times more damage than the Janna, for example. The Mountain Soul, we know about this one. You get a shield. You get 210 shield. It doesn't seem to scale with anything, with your health or anything like that, which I think is a massive mistake. This is definitely the weakest soul. Like, definitely this is the weakest one. Because 210 in the late game is really not a lot. Like, it's really not a lot. But every 5 seconds it's gonna recharge. So like, this one is clearly the weakest. The Ocean Soul, when dealing damage to enemy champions with attacks or abilities, you'll regenerate a certain value in 4 seconds. 150 plus 30% bonus attack damage, 50% ability power, and 6% bonus health. So whenever you poke the enemies or deal any damage to them, you're gonna regenerate health for 4 seconds, and quite a lot actually. So essentially, if the enemies have the Ocean Soul, you're gonna need anti-heal, because otherwise you're not gonna be able to damage through that. The Ice Dragon Soul, you will mark the target for 3 seconds when dealing damage to enemy champions with attacks or abilities, and it slows them when the mark disappears. And deals bonus true damage equal to 10% of the damage the enemies received during the marked period. When you do damage to enemies, for 3 seconds they're gonna be marked, and all the damage you do to them during those 3 seconds, they're gonna take the true damage after that. Basically like a mini Vladimir ult. You could see it like that. You're applying a mini Vladimir ult to them. Damage to turret adjustments. Wow, it's so much. It's way more than I thought, all of these patch notes, man. In previous patches, there were some issues with damage from champions to structures. The first was that champions with hybrid damage could not deal damage with part of their attack damage or ability power to turrets. Second issue was from champions with ability power items dealing damage to structures. The amount of damage they could deal, especially in the later stage of the game, was much higher than attack damage. Correct. Like an full AP Orianna would do like 500 damage per basic attack. It was ridiculous. Especially in the later stage of the game, yeah, it was much higher than attack damage, so we've made adjustments to address these problems. The old turret, basic damage from champions to structure, is champion's basic attack damage plus bonus attack damage and 50% ability power. Choose the higher of the two. New, basic damage from champions and structure is champion base attack damage plus bonus attack damage plus. So it's plus. You'll do every damage. It's not gonna choose the higher of the two. Basically, if you have a mixed damage, like Kill, for example, Kill does physical damage and ability damage. He used to choose the one that was higher, but now you're gonna do the separate ones. You're gonna do physical and magical damage to turrets. Okay, I guess that's pretty good. They changed the Ghost Poro as well. Yeah, so that, you know why that's good? Because now the magic damage champions are gonna do a lot less damage to turrets than before. Because it's not gonna do the full damage on magic. The Ghost Poro. The stupid Poro in the jungle. He now has 3 health and will be stunned after 3 attacks. He won't provide vision for 60 seconds. So like now you can kill the stupid Poro. If the Ghost Poro is not stunned, it regenerates health after 5 seconds. Yeah. Basically, you can now kill that stupid Poro for a minute. Heal. What is this? The heal. Oh, it's the summoner spell. Restore 60 to 242 health to you and the most wounded enemy. Yeah, that's the normal one. It gives you movement speed as well. This effect is increased by 100% to ally champions. What is it now? Now it restores 90 to 370. That's a lot more than this, by the way. To you and the most wounded nearby ally. And grants a 30% bonus movement speed for 1 second. Healing is halved. Oh, so now it doesn't double the heal for your ally. Basically, like, it used to be like this. This is your heal, this is your ally's heal. Now it's like this. They're like, it's the same healing, but both of you receive the same amount. So I like this, because I didn't like the fact that it would heal your ally more. Now it's going to heal both of you the same, but it's going to give you more movement speed. It's actually a buff to the heal. It's a buff. Smite. When you have Smite equipped, monster's health will be displayed. Yeah, okay. The health will be... You can see how much health you can execute it at. Sorry, het is meer dan ik dacht. Ik ben bijna klaar. Rift Herald. It can be frustrating when the enemy team summons Rift Herald to attack the Nexus directly without minions. This also isn't healthy for the pace of the game. So we've made some adjustments to Shelly. Damage to Nexus is less. And now the Rift Herald dies after hitting the Nexus once. I have never seen a Rift Herald being put on the Nexus, by the way. I'm not sure about you guys, but I have never seen it. In-game quality of life changes. When enemy champions are continuously attacked by turrets, the last attack will not be interrupted by distance as enemy champions exceed the attack range. I don't know what that means. When enemy champions are continuously attacked by turrets, the last attack will not be interrupted by distance. I don't know what that means, to be honest. Optimize the store page in-game. Optimize the red and blue buff respawn answer. This is good, actually. In the game now you can see when the red and blue buff are going to be buffed. So that's good. Like when you have the empowered red and blue buff. There's now a new announcer in the chat bar when the first upgrade was. Yeah, I saw that. Damage the minion icon of teammates near the minion will now share their ultimate cooldown. Okay. Optimization to the scoreboard. Great. We have a BMO skin. That actually looks really fun. Count Kazarin. Pumpkinhead Fiddlesticks. Prestige Spirit Blossom Master E. Spirit Blossom Master E. Spirit Blossom Ari. Riven, Set, and Tristana. Extra bits. Let me see if there's anything here that that is interesting. The bug, Pantheon ultimate with enemies with ability shields. You can read through it if you want to, but I'm not. Alright, that's it. Jesus Christ, 40-minute patch notes video. That's one of the longest patch notes I've ever seen. Let me know your thoughts on the patch notes. And I'll see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.